Let's dive into Adam Schefter's remarks. And I want to show you what a fucking idiot Adam Schefter is.
What do you say?
And I'm gonna text McAfee and let him know too that you have a fucking idiot on your show every so often. Here's the reason why. Because he never played. He's a fucking suit that sits around and acts like he knows. He compared Sam Darnold, re-signing him, to a poker hand, saying that he had a royal flush, but the next hand will not be a royal flush. So you have to move on from him. I almost lost my shit, homie. I almost threw my thing through the TV this morning on Get Up. 5 in the morning, I'm sitting there watching it. That's the perfect analogy from a guy that never fucking played or coached. This ain't poker. The players actually have a outcome-based, result-oriented based profession. We can work to attain that. You are depending on a hand in a card game, you fucking moron.
By chance, right? This
of the draw.
What the Vikings is doing is not by chance.
luck of the draw. He didn't win 14 fucking football games because he got the right hand, you fucking idiot. Now, please, Adam Schefter, come at me like you came at Doug Gottlieb, motherfucker, because I'm the wrong motherfucker to come at. Let's be clear about that. I will cook your sorry ass on social media. So please come at me like you come at these other mid-ass nobodies. First of all, it ain't a poker hand, homie. This motherfucker is legit. I've been telling you that shit for 2 years. Adam Schefter, you should say that JB called this shit out, not Dan Orlovsky. Because Dan Orlovsky wasn't on the train, motherfucker, a year ago like I was. But what do I know? I said that I coached against him 2 years in a row. I know what he's about. I know his high school football coach very well. We played each other for a reason every year because I'm good friends with the guy. And I'm just telling you, he's legit. He just has been in a fucking horrible situation. Is anybody talking about him and Baker Mayfield were both in Carolina and we're both shitted on and we're both talked about their careers are over? But now look at both of them. How about you look at both Baker and Sam Darnold? We could argue both of them are in the top 5 in yardage, touchdowns, and touchdowns to interception ratio. And have both teams in the playoffs. One's in the hunt. One's a number 1 seed possibly. So stop, Adam Schefter, you fucking suit. Do what you do really well. Do that. Don't talk about getting rid of Sam Darnold because he won't hit the fucking royal flush next year. So you got to move on. Because you don't understand, Smitty. And I could talk about this for an hour, but we're not because we got a lot to talk about. Smitty, do these guys understand that quarterbacks aren't falling off fucking trees in this league?
Right.
Has anyone understood that I'm the one with Cam Newton and myself and you and all these other guys talking about how bad quarterback play has been? I've been doing it for 4 years straight. But now all of a sudden people are starting to understand. Kirk Herbstreit and McAfee and everybody, Whitlock. Yeah, JB been calling this shit for 4 years. He might be right or something. That motherfucker just dink and dunk offense. Don't do shit. 80% completion percentage because look what they're throwing. It's not like they're throwing dig comeback post. Please understand, this ain't fucking easy to do what he's doing. And you're not going to find another guy next year to do this exact replica of Sam Darnold.
You're not.
First of all, number 1. Number 2, you don't find quarterback, head coach, play caller that are on the same page like this all over the place. Like they're falling off trees. How many? We've already discussed. Sirianni Hurts. Okay, we can maybe tag that one. You can't even say Dak to McCarthy. They've been a failure, to be real.
Well, you could before this. You could though. I mean, he was all pro.
You gotta win, Smith. You gotta win and be good. Like it ain't just being good.
I mean, but Vikings ain't won yet, though. That's the argument.
Okay, so let's just throw the obvious out there. Mahomes and Reed, Jalen Hurts and Sirianni, LaFleur and Jordan Love this year. I mean, really, this is the year, but they haven't beat anybody of any magnitude. They're 1-5 versus teams in the playoffs. Ben Johnson's not the head coach, so we can't use them. McDermott's not the head coach, play caller on offense, so you can't use the Bills. Zach Taylor and Burrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Harbaugh and Herbert.
Yeah.
I
would have said Shanahan and Purdy last year, but now you can't.
McVay and Stafford, homie. That's really it. It's not like they're falling off trees. Yeah. Like, people don't grasp the concept. You don't just get rid of something this special to go with a wish in one hand, shit in the other one mentality and hope it fills up first. You don't find this. Sam Darnold's done all this out of respect to the game for the kid that's fought through all this. I defend coaches all day. Let me defend the kid now. How about you pay homage to the kid that's gone through what he's gone through with 4 different head coaches, 8 different offensive coordinators, 2 horrific franchises in Carolina and the Jets, and let him actually eat for once and show you that he's the guy. He's doing it right now in 1 year. Pay him a little bit of homage for doing what he's doing right now and give him a reward. You're giving these other mid-ass cats rewards. You gave Trevor Lawrence a reward. You gave Kyler Murray a reward. You gave all these other shitty-ass Tua and these other motherfuckers who don't even play a reward. Why wouldn't he get a reward when you're the knocking at the door to be the 1 seed? Kirk Cousins got 160 mil Smitty and couldn't do this. In Minnesota with the same fucking team.
Well, he did win like 11, 12 games, though.
He didn't win 14, homie.
Yeah, I get it.
He didn't win 14, homie. This guy's 14 wins, Smitty, the first ever.
Now, being devil's advocate, my only argument, pushback is, so you're saying Darnold should get paid, which I agree. But we both also on the other side say the Niners shouldn't pay Purdy, though. Hear me out.
Shouldn't.
Purdy had a hell of a year last year. Numbers, went to the Super Bowl, outplayed Mahomes, had a big-time year last year.
Did he?
He did.
That's the thing. I don't think you're looking at it at a macro scale like I'm looking at it. Not saying you're a micro thinker like I fuck with you. I'm being serious on this one. I don't think you're looking at the big picture of what I'm discussing on this. I mean, did he? What did the Vikings do with the same roster and then you added Darnold? What did the Niners do before Purdy and then you added Purdy? They did the same fucking thing, homie. They went to the Super Bowl and lost. The roster around Purdy, and I would argue they got better with CMC being added, which Garoppolo did not have.
Right.
So I want to be clear, which Kaepernick did not have before Shanahan, obviously. I just want to be clear. There's a huge difference in what you had before and what you did and what you have and did after. The Vikings are the same fucking team without the addition of Aaron Jones and Darnold. The Niners are a plus team and still did the same thing they did with Garoppolo. I'm just telling you, I told you last year I would have kept Sam Darnold and 49ers. The Niners right now, I'm just telling you, would be a playoff team with Sam Darnold on this team right now. Just telling you, homie. That's the difference.
I mean, looking at what Sam was doing.
There's a real big discrepancy in making plays and then throwing the casual layup when all things are perfect. Brock Purdy needs all things to be perfect to create and make a layup. Sam Darnold's fucking throwing 80-yard strikes over the bombs of Baghdad on bang eights against a team like the Niners, which they beat game 3 this year, bad, by getting hit in the chin throwing that ball. I ain't seen Purdy ever do that under duress. I'm just telling you.
I think we all forget that Sam Darnold is a top 10 pick when he's first rounder, like number 3 pick overall. So this guy is very talented. Talent ain't even the question. I mean, you know it more than anybody. He's the hoop. You know what I'm saying? He's a really good athlete. He has the arm. He's always had the skill set. It's just been situations, and I think mentally, because of the situations, mentally he kind of lost it for a little bit, and the confidence wasn't there. He's in a situation now where he's been uplifted. The team loves him. McConnell just been, I think, the right leader for him to get his confidence where it needs to be. And you see him out there playing. He's looking off the safety, coming back to this side. Like he's like looked like a legit quarterback. So like for me, there's no signs that showed me that he's going to fall off, because I'm not gonna lie. All throughout the season, I've been waiting for the moment, like waiting for Darnold to go back to who he was. but he just hasn't. It's been what, 16 games or whatever. He's been the same guy all season. So it's like, okay, well, why? What is out there to show me to make me think that he's going to go back to,
there ain't no going back to. There ain't no going back to. See, you never got to see this. That's the problem. This is who Sam Darnold is. He just never had any surroundings or culture or some sort of fucking leadership at quarterback, coach, head coach, OC. He just never had the foundation. He's coming from this is the Rams system that O'Connell runs under McVay's system. He's a McVay guy. He was running the same thing Stafford and the Rams are doing. And arguably, these two teams, look at their offense, are very similar in statistics and everything. And the Rams had two wideouts out for most of the year. The Vikings have had Addison and Jefferson for most of the year. Great tight end, great run game. The Vikings are loaded, and their defense is much better than the Rams. Like, the Vikings defense is legit. Like, people, this team is – we're going to do our power rankings later, but somebody paid, so we'll address it. Wish you would give Lamar the same grace you give Darnold. Every chance you get, you have the on Lamar. Smitty, am I lying? CJ Stroud had one good year. You said he better. Okay, well, anyway, grammatically, it was hard to read, but I understand what you're saying. So
that's a fair, I guess, evaluation. I'm not mad at that point.
When Lamar balls out, I say it. I said this is his best year ever. I've said it every show almost. Anytime Lamar's brought up, I said this is his best show ever, or year ever.
You have said that.
I'm still not a believer in Lamar.
More of a fan of Darnold, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, which is okay. Yeah. Like, I'm more of a fan of Lamar than I am of Trent. Like, your energy for Darnold is more celebratory. It's more positive. It's more blame everybody else, not him. Where when the Ravens lose or something happens with Lamar, it's more like, see, I told you. It's almost like you're waiting for like him to prove you right, so to speak. It's like the energy.
Because can we be honest though? Like, does anybody talk about the broke homeless guy in LA, or do they talk about LeBron James and the billionaire? We don't talk about guys that are mid or average. Lamar is, we know, unless you're an idiot, Lamar is a two-time MVP, and he's up in the upper echelon of players in the NFL, period. I don't believe I need to come on here and be a Lamar Jackson advocate and talk about how great he is. We already know how great Lamar is. We know Patrick Mahomes has 3 Super Bowls or 4 Super Bowls. We know they're back-to-back champs. Like, I'm talking about the guys that are not the obvious that a lot of you don't understand. That's why the show is different than every other fucking swinging dick out there that just brings up the obvious, Captain Obvious. I want to show you that Sam Darnold's a guy that can be good. I want to say Cooper Rush is a guy you can win with in Dallas, which I've been saying for how long. I want to say there's different angles at approaching certain things to use with your salary cap and make your roster better. You don't have to pay these guys exorbitant amount of money to only not play the game or be mid. You can win other ways. That's all I'm saying. That's why this show's different. We already know Lamar's fucking unbelievable talent. I've been saying it forever. For 5 years on this show. I say he's a freak athlete, but I don't trust him in a playoff situation. That's just me. So I'm just saying, doesn't mean he's not fucking unbelievable talent and great. Sam Darnold, you've never seen. You don't even know who he is. Until I said, hey, this guy should have been kept in the Frisco last year over Purdy, and everybody called me fucking batshit crazy. Now all of a sudden everybody's like, damn, Dave, he was right. They should have kept that.
Let me ask you this then. Again, I got to be devil's advocate. Let's say the Vikings go in the playoffs, and whether they're the number 1 seed and get a bye or they got to play in the wild card, whatever the case may be. Let's say they go in and they lose their first playoff game. Does Darnold still get paid?
Yeah, because it happens every year. We see that every year. We see that with teams all the time.
If that's the case, then what's the difference between him and like Kirk Cousins? Then, because Kirk Cousins did that.
There's no difference. But the thing is, we judge guys off of one situation. Kirk Cousins gets 10, and Sam Darnold gets 1. Because Sam Darnold already came in behind the 8 ball because everybody said, oh, he's been on all these teams and blah, blah, blah. Homie, give him some years. Y'all giving these mid-ass motherfuckers years and years and years, and now we want to judge a guy off 1 year? Shit happens. Did y'all pay Aaron Rodgers? Did they pay Aaron Rodgers several times over?
Yeah.
How many fucking rings does he have? How many years did it take him to attain it? I'm just trying to be clear. Can we be equal and honest? I get what you're saying, but he's an early playoff exit bust. A lot of he's
lot
more
of NFC championships, a lot of NFC championship games though.
I get it, but we haven't even seen this guy yet. Can we get this guy a chance? Like that's my
listen. I'm not trying to flip it. I'm with Sam Darnold. I'm just saying I don't want to throw out certain names. I don't want to take a step back.
This is what's wrong with the media, though. This is what's wrong with the current media and how everything works and spins, though. It's all about what have you done for me lately. They're quick to shit on a motherfucker.
Yeah.
That they have yet to see really do anything, and just do. And put a guy that has a bigger name or face in there and pay him and to be honest, it's the same result. It's the same result. And by the way, there's not too many guys you would have plug and played in Minnesota other than Sam Darnold, who would have won you 14 games. Go name me 5.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just saying, if you can't name me 5 guys that could have plugged and played in Minnesota to get 14 wins right now, then you need to stop talking about this debate and pay them. Now, if you can name me 10 guys and say, oh, man, there's 10 guys I can put over there in Minnesota, then, okay, now let's open it up for debate. But for you to say Adam Schefter, you got to get rid of him and play McCarthy. This is why ESPN and these fucking idiots continue to make football look horrific and expect it to be horrific because of statements like that. A guy that's never played, who's coming off an injury, is going to go in and be better long-term than Sam Darnold, who just proved to you he's about to be a 1 seed in 14 victories. Make it make sense, Adam Schefter. Stop. You got to fucking miss me with this shit, man. He is clearly a top echelon guy for this franchise. He needs to be paid for this franchise, to stay at this franchise. And let McCarthy learn. McCarthy may be better in the long run by sitting there. But maybe he won't either.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a McCarthy guy. Shaun is. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not willing to risk my job on a humbug either.
Let's go with the lock. Let's go with what we do know. And we know right now that Sam Darnold will win you 14 games. So that's a fact. Ain't no argument.
I'm not going to humbug. I'm going for some for show pussy over some no pussy.
Right. And my last thing before we transition, I know we've been on here for a while, but it's a good topic to really discuss. I think the issue is that it's the journey, like you alluded to, it's the journey, right? So like Sam Darnold's history isn't good for whatever reason. Team, organization, coach, whatever, his history isn't good. So it's hard for people to forget that. It's hard, no matter how good he's playing right now. It's hard for people to forget that. So it's going to take him to take the Vikings to an NFC Championship or do something like astronomical. I think for those people, those critics to be like, okay, he is legit. He's moved on from the old. Same thing with Geno Smith. Geno Smith was kind of similar. Drafted by Jets, big time arm, but just bad organization. Got thrown down the drain. He got the right coach in Pete Carroll, right situation with the Seahawks. And what do you know? He's like a Pro Bowl quarterback. They're in the playoffs, and Geno's been solid since then. I just think for whatever reason, you just need to see more versus some of these other guys who you were comparing to. You said Kyler got paid, Tua got paid. A lot of these other guys, they came to the league and they were solid. Like Kyler said what we want, but he was solid coming to the league. Tua was solid. Darnold was just not good at all at first. And again, not his fault fully, but he just was not. So I think people just have that stuck in their head right now.
That's how you get drafted, though. And this is the narrative. You're literally speaking and defending what I'm against. I'm against the Adam Schefters of the world who need to create a narrative and for that narrative to prove his statement correct, because that is what business he's in. Adam Schefter is in the prediction business. So if his predictions don't come out right, then his narrative that he pushed looks false, and he becomes one of these talking heads out here who never is right in the draft, like Todd McShay and Mel Kiper and these guys that we had fun go at earlier in the year about. Adam Schefter's in the prediction business. So if his predictions don't go right, he loses credibility. So my point is, he came out and said, oh, J.J. McCarthy's going to be a guy. Just go back and look. So he needs to push the narrative that J.J. McCarthy needs to be the starter. But he never played it down or coached. So he has no fucking idea what the intangibles entail. The intangibles entail a guy that has the it factor in Sam Darnold that understands the head coach, and they have a fucking camaraderie going on right now. And that there's that's a huge thing in the NFL. Adam Schefter, you have no fucking idea about. So this is why the mainstream media pushes these things that you just similarly stated. He's bad. It's all about where you go get drafted, Smitty. Yeah. Look at all these. Baker Mayfield is bad. Yeah. So look at these guys that got drafted to these programs. Here's why Adam Schefter doesn't understand and needs to stay out of it. Quit throwing these guys on teams as rookies and expect them to have long careers. Caleb Williams' career longevity got scrapped by 5 years this year because you threw him in there and forced him. When you could have kept Justin Fields, drafted Joe Alt, got you Dunzy and Keenan Allen, and still had more, got Swift, got better on defense, the Bears would be a fucking much better team this year. But no, you want to go get a flashy guy who won the Heisman, who we got to put in right now, and look how that's worked out. How many times do we do that? We did it in Tennessee with Malik Willis. And then he's traded a fucking year later. We did it with fucking Spencer Rattler. We did it with the dude from Cincinnati. No, Pickett too. But we did it with Cincinnati kid that went to Atlanta. He's already in fucking Vegas. Look at how fast we're getting rid of guys. Riddler. How many guys do we go through? And how many fucking Adam Schefters out there are going to really figure out? When are you going to figure out, Adam Schefter, that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about when it comes to this locker room business? You just keep reporting on what you're reporting on. Let us that know the fucking real inside talk about it and give the real. Because you're fucking forcing dudes to rush their career. And then you have a topic to bash their ass when they do bad. And then now they're pegged under the 8 ball and will never get out from it. Because you already want fucking Sam Darnold to be replaced. And he's won 14 fucking games in the NFL. And you want him replaced, Adam Schefter? Get the fuck out of here, motherfucker. I'm so tired of you fucking idiots. Holy shit, you act like 14 games in the NFL is just falling off fucking trees, homie. Like, Bill Belichick's not coaching right now. You act like 14 games fall off trees.
That's what I always tell you. I'm talking about the Niners and Shanahan. You always say Shanahan's an overrated coach. I'm like, well, this motherfucker win 13, 14 games every single year, go against each other, go Super Bowl. I said, like, the regular season matters to me. It's not just Super Bowl. So I agree with you on that. And speaking of Shanahan, my last and final point on this, shout out to the Niners. Because I think the Niners played a role in Sam Darnold's maturation in terms of sitting back there for a year, being in a good organization with a great offensive mind. I think there's some similarities in Shanahan and McConnell and where he's at now. So I think being in a system like that and in a good organization for a year prior to coming here, in my opinion, honestly helped him be who he is today as well. I think they played a role. That's just my opinion.